Speaking about brilliant, how did you feel about what game are we talking? Armored Core.
Wait. Are you recording already?
Yeah,
Have you been
I've been
recording
recording
this
this.
whole time?
I have been recording everything.
I thought we were gagging
I mean, we
or
are.
gaffing.
We're gaffing, we're
Goofing?
hanging out, we're goofing out, and honestly, man, that's the best content.
All right, so all this is going in then. Okay.
Probably.
We're going to talk about Armored Core.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about Armored Core. But we spent a lot of time talking about how Chase has a disease and how my wife is angry at me for not giving her coffee.
Yeah, also hot coffee. Did you say I had a hot coffee?
Yeah,
I don't drink hot coffee. What are you, crazy?
you drink cold coffee?
Of course. Everything is iced. Iced coffee. Get it blended, get into a frappuccino. Always cold coffee.
Well, to be fair, I don't drink coffee at all. I don't like the flavor.
Aren't you a unique butterfly?
I am. I'm a unique butterfly, a beautiful snowflake, not just because I am different from everybody else, but also because I'm incredibly white.
If you drank the coffee, you'd see it through your body, head into your digestion system.
If you cut me, I bleed mayo.
You know what though? We did meet, and you're actually not that white. You got some pigmentation to you, you know.
No, I got some makeup.
Wait, did you?
No. No. How did you feel about the game, man?
That was alright. No, okay. So this was your first Armored Core too.
My very first. I didn't even try any of the other ones. I didn't even look them up much. I just wanted to go in completely fresh.
Me too. I had the same experience. I had a lot of people, I'm assuming, asking you as well, like, are you going to play the old ones? At least, I think Armored Core 4 is apparently supposed to be kind of similar to this one. But I didn't. I decided to just stay away, and I played the new one for the first time, and I freaking loved it. I thought it was amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, it was such a beautiful, fresh experience to me due to the fact that I stayed away, never played much mech games at all. I may have watched like a couple of episodes of Evangelion, and that's about it. That's all I know about mechs. But the frantic action back and forth was fantastic, man. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. It felt like somebody described it as like a Dragon Ball Z fight. And like you don't really think about it except when you're in situations where, let's just say you're fighting a really fast Armored Core. With them zooming around and getting behind you and turning around and the back and forth and dodging missiles and dodging everything, it does kind of feel like a like crazy level up fight in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Just the back and forth is so much fun, you know?
It felt to me like I was watching a UFC match where all the fighters were on meth. You know, you just
yeah.
keep
Yeah,
punching.
that'd be a good ass card though. Shit, man. Fuck. We need to try that.
I have watched one UFC match in my entire life. I don't watch much of it. I watched a lot of wrestling, and then I watched a UFC match where CM Punk was on the card.
Oh wow, that is really fucking interesting because I do love MMA. I like the UFC, and I watch many cards. And you know, obviously he came from WWE, and I was wondering, like, I wonder how many people he'll attract. You know, because he was like a big star in the WWE, right?
Was and maybe is my favorite wrestler to this day, because when I first started watching, he had like an incredible, amazing promo, and it was kind of like a worked shoot where they pretended that it was real, even though it probably wasn't, and that really gripped me. And I followed him, watched him in MMA, and it was sad. It was incredibly sad. I was super disappointed for him because he got his ass
got the
beaten.
shit beat out of him twice too.
But yeah, Armored Core, maybe.
Armored Core.
Yeah, stay on track.
So the game was the combat really freaking fast paced. Seemed like a lot of people really liked it. It came at a weird time because it came awkwardly after Elden Ring, which is great for the game, but when it comes to like the fan base that was gonna be trying this game out, as like their next From Software game, because we had, I guess, like Dark Souls. I don't know what was the first Souls game that you played that like you remember. Was it Dark Souls 3?
My first Souls game that I played was Demon Souls.
But like was that before like Dark Souls 3 came out?
Yes, I started with Demon Souls. Look, I'm one of those guys. I played Souls before they were cool.
Oh, great. Okay. You're one of those. Technically, Dark Souls 3 was our first like real next From Software game after we started playing From Software games. And after Elden Ring, a lot of people started playing Elden Ring for the first time, and then they have Armored Core.
Yeah.
So it's so different from any type of like Souls combat, which has a little tiny bit kind of sprinkled in there in Armored Core, but not a lot. I feel like it was too big of a transition for a lot of people. So a lot of people just didn't vibe with the game at all, I think.
I totally agree, and I think that was the exact reason why I was looking forward to it, and you, because we get to try something fresh.
Yeah, which is, I had the same thing. I wanted a new experience.
I did see a lot of people complaining on, oh god, X.
You can say Twitter. You're in a safe space.
I'm okay, all right. You don't think that Elon Musk is gonna pop up in the chat and beat the shit out of me for saying Twitter?
No, I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be just. He might sue you, but other than that,
fair enough. But a lot of people on Twitter were really complaining about not being able to get through. And if you play the game in a certain way, and I think you will be aware of this, it can be really damn hard.
yeah, I think if you play it never changing, like let's just say if you just use the fucking first AR that you get and you never buy any other weapons, you never mess around with your mech and change pieces, the game's gonna be damn near impossible, to be honest. I think. There's some bosses that come out. I guess, have you beat it already?
But I have beaten it once, yes.
Okay, good. So like there's a lot of bosses later on, especially. And even with like our my nemesis Baltius, even once you get to him, if you were just using the regular like if you somehow made it that far with your regular AR, that boss I think will be like damn near impossible for a lot of people.
And let's just hoist some praise upon you because you beat Baltius with your basic setup.
Yeah, I was really stubborn. Well, the first day I guess I didn't really think about like leaving leaving the mission, going to the garage and buying the special like designed weapon that they made for like his shield, And then I was just stubborn, and then after the first day I was already like 3 hours and 80 attempts in, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going with this setup. But it wasn't a terrible, like it was definitely not a terrible setup. It was almost exactly what you're meant to use on him, except like the weapon maybe wasn't the best, but probably the best option that I had.
Yeah, because you took so long to get his shield down, but once his shield was down, you did have the opportunity to do damage to him, if I understand.
Yeah, we had the good high damage once we finally got a shield down, but the shield was easily the hardest part about that boss, I think.
Yeah, I beat him, I don't want to say fairly quick, but I did struggle a little bit, and then I was like, these missions are super short, so I just went back to the garage, picked up that weapon, and went in. And I didn't play through any of the tutorials at that point. I did that after I beat the game. And just...
That was pretty much the same, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I learned, hey, this weapon works well against this type of enemy, and this enemy is weak against that. And I'm like, oh, that's important information. I always thought I kinda sorta knew, but I was watching people online talk about a killdozer build where you had like huge lasers on your back, and so I switched between my wheelchair of doom and the killdozer, and boy oh howdy, it was amazing.
Kind of curious, did you ever use like a very heavy tanky type of armored core?
I did switch between a few of them. I did enjoy using the heavier version through some parts of the game because I just felt like such a goddamn monster. But at the same time, I'm a little bit more interested in a more speedy, quicker type of mech, and so the Wheelchair of Doom just hit me right in
What a
the.
name.
I mean,
Although my main wasn't any better either.
what was
My
your main?
main like armored core was, so I randomly discovered basically the strongest meta build, which is the two Zimmermans, the two big shotguns,
Mm-hmm.
and like two big cannons. And since it was two pump shotguns, I called them the two pump chump. And he was my main, like, if anything happened or went wrong or I decided something was really strong, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take out the two pump chump, and usually things ended really fast.
Two pump champ.
It was like, ironically, the build worked perfectly because he finished fast. Basically any boss.
I want to say I appreciate that though, because I thought when I finished Armor Core that I would, you know what, leave it be. But I found myself coming back to it every now and then because the missions were short. I had like, okay, I have half an hour. I don't know what to do. I want to just chill out, relax a bit. And so I pulled up Armored Core, played a few missions, tried a few variations of my builds, and I'm having a good time with it, even in New Game Plus. Are you gonna go all the way through to New Game Plus Plus?
Yeah, apparently there's like I'm assuming already, there's multiple endings to the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Apparently the true best ending you could only get in New Game Plus Plus. So that's my goal to do. But what I've been doing New Game Plus is trying out variety and like a lot of stuff that I didn't try out the first time, like different random little SMGs, tried the little needle gun.
Hmm.
Not just kind of sticking with the same really strong builds, which would make it much easier. It would take like, fucking 2 hours to go through the whole thing, but I've been slowly kind of using newer things, newer variety.
Speaking about endings, did you enjoy the story or did you pay attention?
I paid some attention. Yeah, like I kind of understood some of it. You want to do spoilers? Does it matter? I guess we don't have to go into ending spoilers,
Yeah,
but
no ending spoilers.
like little things here and there with like air and the Rubiconians and all that.
Yeah.
I sort of understood it, kind of. Uh, and I thought it was good. Like it didn't seem too crazy complicated. I actually kind of really liked um the kind of like the overall theme of the mercenary getting hired by all the different corporations, and then you're able to decide if you want to side with which side or the liberation front in the that already exists in the world, trying to protect the coral and everything. I really like that
Yeah.
aspect of the story, I think.
I thought that was really cool. The story did just enough to make me care, which is impressive considering the fact that they are telling the story basically through like 4 cutscenes and audio messages.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it was captivating enough to be like that. You anytime a message comes up, you are quiet and you like listen to it.
Hmm.
I think it was all right. I think it was enough for the game. In between the parts where I can shoot stuff with a 12-story mech. You know.
I have to say, man, the point where I had to choose between one character or the other had me feeling a little bad because I basically chose the side that paid me the most.
Me too. Me too. I did the exact same thing, and I had people coming in being like, "Oh, you didn't do this," like angry, like angrily being like, "Oh, it's interesting to see that I swear all streamers are the same, and they always pick this and this and this," like be trying to calm people down, be like I'm gonna do New Game Plus, man. I'm just doing everything.
I get it. I love a good brain waifu. I played tons and tons of Halo, and I mean, I may or may not have looked up certain images of Cortana in my youth.
Oh yeah, I have a couple saved on, as my phone background. There's a picture of Cortana spreading her anus. But other than that, I think Air was I did it. She wasn't like a Cortana to me. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
She didn't feel like a Cortana. Like Cortana, I felt way more attached to Cortana. But there was also, fucking 3 games, 4 games to get attached to her and stuff.
I do want to say that I think they did a solid job getting me somewhat invested, and most of the credit I will give to the actress, because I think the
Yeah.
actress did an excellent job.
I agree. She I think she sounded very vulnerable when she had to. And I think she did a really good job kind of conveying that through just voice, which is pretty good.
What color was your mech?
Black and red. I went for like edgelord black and red. And then I made a mech kind of the same colors of the Eva from Evangelion, kind of green and purple.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought that was cool.
I had a completely pink mech.
I had a feeling you would do something like that.
Yeah, it was
course.
pink. It was beautiful. I called it the Pink Panzer. I tried to make a version of Master Chief because there was some heads there that kind of looked like it would fit with the Halo lore, so I went with that. And one of the greatest designs I saw online, somebody made a goddamn GameCube mech.
People have gotten creative. Like I, popped 2 colors on my thing and I was like, it looks cool. And then people have made like, have you seen like the McDonald's? Somebody made a McDonald's mech.
Yeah, I saw that.
People have been getting really freaking creative, which is actual creator, and like the color system that you could change up your mech is really well made. It's very precise. You can change up so many different little parts of the mech. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Did you manage to play some PvP?
No, I played 1 match and it was like pretty much right when I unlocked it. And I went in and instantly got matched up against somebody who had New Game Plus weapons. And I fucking got obliterated. And have not touched it since then. And it's kind of like I definitely want to. I've heard the meta is kind of along the lines of like the build that I'm using. That's like my strongest build.
Mm-hmm.
But I want some variety in there. And I'm afraid odds are there's probably not going to be a lot of variety inside the arena.
No, I've been playing it not online, but off stream, I mean, and in the beginning there was a lot of interesting different mechs, a lot of standard ones, a lot of new game plus stuff. I think people just hadn't figured it out, and it was a lot of fun. But lately I have started to see a lot of the same builds come in, so in PvP there definitely needs to be some more balancing. But I do think that it's a fun mess. And the first stream where I did play PvP, I did beat my opponent, and I was considering never playing the game ever again because that would mean that I would be undefeated.
100% win rate. Yeah, never come back.
Yeah, I was going to rub that in Oro's face, but I had to play a little bit more, and I did have a good time. I did. And it is recommended, but I cannot for the life of me understand why there doesn't exist a quick play.
I agree. It is it's like you join lobbies, right? It was really weird the first time I did. I like joined a lobby and then I was spectating 2 people fighting and I had to wait for them to finish for me to get picked to go in to do the 1v1, and I got my ass whooped. And then I kind of want that quick 1v1, quick move on to the next one, 1v1, quick move on to the next one.
Yeah,
didn't seem like that.
No, it wasn't. I hope they add that in a DLC. I don't even know if there's going to be DLC. Have there been anything announced?
Yeah, I don't think so, right?
No.
Like this is a one and done thing. Are there even going to be updates? I wonder.
I hope for updates, and I would like a quick play. I don't think, though, it needs much more in the way of DLC. I haven't played, through all the New Game Plus stuff. That probably adds a lot more context to the story, I believe. I think this game...
You do get new items as well for New Game Plus, by the way.
Yeah, I also heard there are some missions that you can only access in New Game Plus.
Yeah, there's a couple that you'll run into. Right now, I'm at a crossing point of a mission that is like exclusive for New Game Plus.
I also want to give this game some credit because it came out and I had absolutely no issues whatsoever running
Dude,
this game at all.
yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, have you seen any glitches in this game?
No, no.
Which is crazy for like a new game, right? Like no PC glitches. This thing has barely dipped in FPS. I don't know how it is on PlayStation. Um, People have said it does dip occasionally on PlayStation 5 from what I remember. But on PC, it's been like damn near perfect,
Yeah, I've
which is pretty insane.
it's kind of sad that that's a thing that is in the plus column for
It is,
games
yeah.
these days, but I do feel like it should be mentioned that FromSoft has made a great effort here in delivering experiences that doesn't, the world doesn't glitch out at all.
Right.
Mm.
Especially with like I mean the amount of pieces that go into a mech, there's like 10 different things you could change or something like that, including like weapons and back weapons, and they all work perfectly every single time, which is insane.
And all of the visual the glowing effects, what's it called again when you shoot a
The,
thing and
the
it glows?
boosters and all that,
Yeah, the boosters, the shots, the lasers, everything, all of the visual effects
beautiful.
on the screen. It's wild. It's a bullet hell game, and there's a hell of a lot of bullets. So
Yeah, even it just have you ever just stared at your mech? You see all the little boosters come out from the different locations of where you turn. Like you turning right makes it come out from the left side and all that, like crazy shit like that.
the details that they managed to put in this game is amazing. And from a visual point of view, the graphics are sweet, but the art direction is even sweeter, which is something that FromSoft does very well.
I agree. The graphics aren't, top notch. It's not gonna be realistic, but like when you look out into the sky and you see the fires burning the atmosphere, like it looks so freaking sick. It looks beautiful.
All right, so three more things here, Prod. Best
Yes.
moment for you in the game?
When you're fighting the sandworm and the dude shoots the sandworm with the laser and the music stops and it goes boom, and it fucking hits it and it comes down. Like that part was just so sick the way the music kind of like cuts out entirely. I
Yeah,
loved it.
I love that. My favorite moment was when I had to climb the huge mining robot. You shoot the leg, you climb on top, and the whole level is basically that robot that is moving. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. I think we needed more of that. I think we needed at least one more boss that was kind of like that. I kind of wish that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it was fun fighting the smaller enemies and a lot of fun fighting the other armored cores, but those
Yeah.
huge bosses, oh boy, I'm gonna remember that for a while.
Yeah, definitely. The big giant freaking mech. Like I remember before the game came out, that was one of the things that I really wanted. Like something that you could kind of go in and like the mech actually is part of the boss fighting. You had to disable different random parts. I feel like I
Mhm.
specifically remember mentioning that as like something that I really wanted, and it was like one of the first bosses.
Worst moment or least good moment?
Uh Least good moment. I would probably say um damn, that's hard.
Yeah,
Probably where you had to be stealthy. Um there's like moments where you uh have to hide from the cameras to go find Swinburne. I don't know if you remember doing that mission.
I do
And you
remember
had
it,
to
yes.
like all I did was basically pick the one that has four legs and just kind of hover and just hide under a platform and scaredly make my way across. Like that was kind of annoying. And then there's a mission where all the satellite lasers are kind of pointing everywhere and you had to hide around.
Mm.
Like I guess it gave you some variety, but I felt like they were kind of probably my some of my least favorite parts in the game.
I think my least favorite moment in the game was fighting the invisible enemies. I
Oh yeah,
uh,
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, I get what they were going for, and when you were making your way through there the first time, I actually kind of found it a little tense because they could be here or they could be there. But when you came to the end and you had to fight both the invisible enemies and I don't know if it was an armored core, but it was an enemy on the ground. So
The one, yeah, the one little armored with the big whip and stuff.
yeah. That I think had me somewhat frustrated, but at the same time, I do appreciate they trying to give us a little bit of, variety. So I'm not gonna complain too much about that.
Yeah, and there was only pretty much one moment of that, and
Yeah,
like 2 moments of the things that I mentioned. So like, even when it comes to things that are annoying, there was such like a small portion of the game.
they moved very quickly, didn't they, from one
They did.
part to the next, which I appreciate, quite
They were
frankly.
kind of scary, yeah,
So
and
instead,
hot. Yeah. What were you
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Instead of giving this a 1 through 10 score, that's boring. That's not what the boys are gonna do. Instead, I'm
Right.
gonna ask you, Armored Core 6, fuck, marry, or kill.
I think I'd probably fuck it because it's something you want to have, but am I going to be playing it a year from now? Probably not.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a fuck.
It's a fuck for me too,
Definitely
man.
not a kill because the game is incredible
Yeah.
and I think it's fantastic. But do I want to marry this and have this be the final game that I play? I'd marry Elden Ring. I don't know about marrying. I don't know if you exactly this is a game you bring home to mom.
No.
But the game's incredible and I love it.
Yeah, the game is incredible. It's the type of game that you meet in the club and you have like some chemistry and you take her home to your apartment and you fuck it and you go crazy, and the day after it's fine, a little awkward maybe, but you know what? You had a good time.
Yeah, and then maybe you call back a couple. It kind of becomes a friends with benefit situation. And you kind
Yeah.
of see each other a couple times, but definitely you both know that in a year, odds are you're not going to be seeing each other again.
Yeah, there's other games that's gonna come up, and you're gonna have like a relationship with those.
Yeah, this is getting real weird now when it comes to the. Now, did you turn Armored Core around and jizz on the back, or
Oh no! I not the back, man. I opened the hatch up front and went to town. I don't. What are we saying, Prod?
yeah, this kind of got away from us a little
Yeah,
bit.
you
That
took.
euphemism or that yeah. I don't know.